So going on to the next trend, the third one, the collaboration and document management. So this to me, honestly, is it's not really a new trend, but why I have it here is, we study a lot of like the top trends and what Gartner's saying, what other people are saying, and some had it, some didn't. But what I see is especially with the SharePoint clients that we have, and this graphic at the bottom here. This is just there's some company that does an independent evaluation since 2003 of the top 10 intranets, and they actually, you can see that SharePoint really wasn't even on the radar until 2006, and anybody who used the product then would know why. And with 2007, it really did start to get better and get some more traction. And now out of those 10 top intranets, these are typically, worldwide companies with over 5,000 users. 5 out of the 10 of this independent study has said that they're actually SharePoint intranets. So you can see that that is taking off. And SharePoint has its pros and cons, but again, it's just about being able to access information easily and be able to track what's going on. Document management's been around for quite some time, but doing it well is really, honestly, pretty hard. And most companies that we've consulted with, honestly, don't do it that well. They're typically have homegrown systems integrated with, EMC Documentum, or they have some SharePoint solution, but they're typically cumbersome, and people still have problems trying to get their information as quickly as possible easily. So if you are thinking about doing a SharePoint implementation or some other equivalent, there's no silver bullet, right? It's about planning what you really want out of it. These are information systems, and you have to think hard about, what do you want to get out of it? What are the real the real needs of your users? Is it just document management? Typically not. It's typically about information sharing. I mean, a document is just a concept that we have, really kind of promoted through the 80s, 90s, and through Microsoft's domination of just bringing some kind of concept of aggregating information. But if you think about it, the document eventually could go away. It could just become a blog. I mean, it's just text and information. I mean, PowerPoint, Excel, Word, they're really something that it was the first generation of a lot of people understanding how applications work. And, we came up with these concepts of documents and spreadsheets. At the end of the day, they're all information aggregated in some format. So I just threw this thing in because I wanted people to think when we provide these presentations. It's about, not at all it's just about technology, it's about business. And, as a technology or business leader in your different areas, this is just something, does this happen to you? I gave this presentation. I mean, we lose so much time with interruptions, and any way that we can help, by, the big thing is, preventing spam here. But anything where we can help make, meetings more productive, searching through content, being able to find information more productive. I mean, just take a step back and think about how much that can really improve someone's day and their efficiency. The interruptions really have a pretty big impact. So the next trend, CRM 2.0, I don't know how many of you have gone through some pretty extensive CRM rollouts, but it can be quite challenging with large, whether you think of it from Salesforce automation, which is just one perspective, or more of the customer service area. I mean, again, kind of like documents, CRM it's a big buzzword that means a lot of things to different people. And honestly, through the 90s, even early 2000s, it really, people get it out there, and if you do the studies and you looked at it through historically, a lot of the technology wasn't always ready, but it's improved quite a bit. Like I said, in the old days, you just couldn't do as much because the integration of data, the syncing, all that only has really kind of come about to really function well in the last 5 years. I mean, I remember, late 90s, we had a company, City Search, we were doing consulting with. They had a massive system with, hundreds of sales reps around the country, and, this custom synchronization. It was kind of like hit or miss if it worked as the sales rep went out to the field and then synchronized that data. But now the technology has improved quite a bit, so we can kind of take the evolution to what I call CRM 2.0, you can see some definitions out there on the web of what some people think it is. But it's really about not just doing the basics of like kind of half of what CRM did. It's about taking it to the next level of really communicating to the customer how they want to be communicated to in the fashion that they want to be communicated to. You know, in the early 2000s, there was this whole kind of craze of personalization that's, you know, and Amazon has always been thought of as the leader in doing this. I mean, it's basically, you know, it's not completely simple data analytics, but it's somewhat straightforward with people who understand the data analytics and data mining. But it's really, you know, using that as well as listening to the customer preferences and trying to solicit more information from them so you can communicate to them in the right fashion. So, you know, an example of this, and there's many different examples, but this one that I had here, I'll just show you this real briefly, was this idea storm from Dell out there. So I don't know how many of you are Dell customers or not, but this has been, and this is just one of many examples of kind of companies going out there instead of just being, you know, saying this is what we sell, this is what we sell. It's about kind of like, you know, there's different things like the viewing here. They can see what people are viewing. They can see how the community is interacting with them. And you know, Michael Dell is actually, he looks through some of the top posts here where things get traction and is giving feedback directly to customers. It just lets people have more insight to what their customers are really doing. You know, the whole thing with some of Seth Godin's thing about this different sneezers, if you're familiar with, there's different customers. This concept of sneezers, there's different customers that have influence on other people. And by building these communities and being receptive to new ideas, they can have these influencers have greater influence that typically can help companies increase their sales. Because these people become like little mini sales reps if, you know, if it's done right. I mean, that's a great example of Apple. I mean, people love that software and they love the computers or they love the iPhone and they go out and they tell other people. And that's the best type of marketing where you don't have to pay for it. So how do you apply what we call CRM 2.0 to your business? I combine this with, you know, if you really aren't doing CRM now or you're just more of a B2B company, there's still like different ways that you can either take the package that you have and upgrade it and think about long-term what you really need to do, or you know, think about what simple, quick wins you can do. A good example is we use Microsoft CRM and we've worked with Salesforce with other clients is, you know, we brought in just, you know, it took like an hour or two to probably integrate this. You know, the sales reps that we were working with were trying to get more information about these prospects, and we just did a quick tie-in with LinkedIn. And like all of a sudden, this is a real nice little value that the sales reps really enjoyed to get more information more quickly. And that's, again, what it's about. Okay. So I just put this slide in here. I'm just going to go through it. But the point of this slide is it's kind of a lot of detail to read, but if CRM is done right, and this was a huge organization, but these are massive numbers, you know, savings of 22 million, 60% reduction in contractor support. The point is if you do it right, it can really change your organization to improve quite a bit from a business perspective.